Welcome to Unmotivated, the podcast where we try to find a reason to keep fucking going. Listen, we've got Jamahl, we've got Kat, we talked her into it. She's a fuck, I'm gonna go back downstairs. And we've got Eugene, a buddy of Jamal's. And of course, we've got Better Best Dog, aka Jamarcus. He's made us all man's best friend. Stay tuned because eventually we'll drop the recipe, and even more importantly, we have a surprise for you. Tonight, we're just gonna be, again, introducing Eugene. First 20 episodes are to help people find their voice. After that, it's imperative that we continue to hit topics that help inspire others to try new things. So Eugene's an entrepreneur. Jamal's an entrepreneur. Kat's learned to be an entrepreneur. Jamarcus, entrepreneur. And me, I ain't had a job since I was about 18. So I'm either hustling or trying to entrepreneur some stuff. That being said, Eugene, if you don't mind, man, go ahead and talk a little bit about yourself, how you know Jamahl, and why you're here.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on the podcast. First time.
First time ever, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
He's a virgin.
only. Yeah. So my name's Eugene. I'm born and raised Texas. Moved to Dallas in 2008 and been here since. Me and Jamahl, we've been good friends now for what is it, like 3 years now?
Yeah, going on 3, man.
Yeah. How did we meet? I forget how we met.
Maximus.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then here I am now, man. We're just trying to, build our network up and try to build this empire together and, get the ball rolling, this whole entrepreneurial journey.
Listen to this. You know how I heard about you, man, is he was like walking me through how he met you and stuff. And he goes, man, listen, I met this guy, then his mom dies. And I said, you wasn't here for the other episode, but I said, Jamahl and Stan and even Jamarcus, they're compassionate people. I don't really know compassion. So he's like, yo, dude invites me to a funeral. I'm just meeting him. It's like, it turned into a thing. And then we were just kind of like, we clicked, right?
Yeah.
And that takes a lot. So let me ask you this. What then, like you just met this dude and you go, man, you want to come to my funeral? Like that's kind of like, what the fuck?
It was. Yeah, no, it's really crazy that he was with me from the very beginning. We at that time my mom was sick and she was at the hospital and it was about that time where she was about to pass and Jamahl was always with me throughout that time and it was crazy because like I hardly knew Jamahl. I just met this guy.
That's the point of me asking a question.
But he was I don't know. He was just always there for me. Through a very tough, difficult time. Yeah. And through there, we were able to, bond and build this brotherhood with one another. And, we just kept in close contact ever since,
Bro, that right there's a big word to me personally. Because, I hear guys say brotherhood. You go, man. What does that mean to you, if you don't mind?
Brother to me is somebody that's with me, not necessarily when I'm at my best, but, also when I'm at my lowest point, too. And he's always there for me and always had my back. He's always been there. I could always talk to him about anything I'm going through, So it's just, I've always been blessed and fortunate to have this man in my life. He's really, I cannot even express in words, man.
Hey,
yeah.
Look, man.
I feel the same way about you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
And mind you, people, I've said this in a few episodes, and I think we'll be able to potentially convey what we're trying to put out there a little bit better because, as I repeat, I'm not a friendly person. I don't understand brothers or friends. I got a brother, and we got the same mom and dad. I don't like that nigga at all. So,
well, you got a older brother, younger?
No, I'm the oldest of everybody.
Really?
It's 4 other siblings.
How old are you?
35.
Oh, okay. So you're not that much older.
Yeah. But here's the thing: age is not defined by age, but more so our experiences, right?
Absolutely.
I started getting shaped at about 5 years old, so I had to start thinking intuitively at a very young age. Unfortunately, that required me to be very protective of myself. So I learned not to trust people at probably like Micah's 8. I ain't trust nobody by 8 years old. That's for damn sure. So even when again Maul's describing you to me, and then I'm hearing the same exchange of energy come out, and you guys have an affinity for each other. You go, wow, I've not met somebody in 10 years outside of my buddy Rich, and even then, Rich and I walking into One Life Fitness one time. Are you guys friends? We both look at each other. Nah, he cool though. Right. Like we was on the same time because it wasn't personal. It was just like he don't like people, I don't like people, and I really don't like people. And Rich is more forgiving than I'll ever be. But in anywho, I definitely appreciate you sharing that story because again, Maul's talked about just your kindness, and then even more importantly, you being able to pave the path and provide clarity and like, yo, if you want to do this, this is how you get there. Don't do no stupid shit. So I'm not gonna go into detail about all this stuff, but when he told me what he was thinking about doing, I said, no, do not do that.
Yeah.
The man showed you the exact path. Do not fuck this up by giving somebody a chance
Right.
that can't even provide the numbers. Because that,
You know the situation.
Yeah.
yeah, you're aware. I'm coding it because it's not my story to tell. They jump into it. I'm happy to crucify a motherfucker. But I don't know the nigga from Adam, and I never will. But I do believe, and even making that statement, I do believe Jamahl and Kat and from what I hear, Eugene, these people could potentially be worth well over $100 million. And you don't get there by giving people chances. You get there by giving people the opportunity to do the work. And when the work's clear, now we have a goal and we can identify worth and so many other things. But a nigga fucking up, kiss my ass. It's that simple. So anywho, you guys are now in business together, and you basically gave him a handoff.
Yeah. You're talking about with the with the logistics, the
Just
trucks
truck logistics, the info. You know how many people hoard opportunity, especially when they're winning. Now, mind you, he didn't present it like, "Yo,
yeah.
my man's losing." He was like, "Yo,
Right.
Eugene figured out what you would think about Trev is how to optimize 3 or 4 opportunities and make sure you maximize the potential of them."
Right.
And then he's like, "Yo, if you want in, here's a truck. Do this, and I'll take my percent and help you build out your version of it." That not a lot of people hand this stuff off, man. Even the dog I sold them, I could have sold that dog for $5,000 to $10,000.
Right, yeah.
And she's a gorgeous dog, but I'd rather sell her for $3,000 and build a whole thing out and show him, especially after he told me a little bit about his story, the right path to making this real magical. Because if he'll last longer if we do it the right way. But like you're a guy that, again, 3 years ago, we're talking about a 3-year relationship, and you gave him a handoff. Why?
Jamal's just always been a very reliable guy that I can always count on, and I was always raised up, since I was a little kid, when you help other people out and you can put other people in a position to win, then it can help you out in the long run as well.
God, I wish more people, fucking parents, taught that.
They don't, a lot of people,
ain't
they're
gotta tell me, bro.
selfish and, they're just like, what can benefit me and only me, and it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So, I just like, if I'm put in a position where I can, put other people and give them the same opportunity and we can all win together, teamwork makes the dream work. That's
So you're saying, but as you said, I don't think a lot of people are taught that at a young age.
that's legit, man. That's legit, man. Yeah.
Hey, this is gonna get fun, man. Like you hear, and mind you, guys, I don't have the headset on; it drives me crazy. So it's hard. Like after about 20, I'm like, oh, I gotta get this thing off my fucking head, man. I can hear these niggas just fine. but Jamarcus, he's on the ones and twos, and he knows how to hit the right sounds and keep it entertaining. So I won't always hear what's going on, but I'll help direct traffic. So Jamahl, now if you don't mind, walk me through and us through, the people that are listening, what it's like to find a friend like Eugene, because I do know a little bit about your personal story. You've dove in and, walk me through friendships and family and challenges and, mishaps, missteps. But it seems like this dude who, again, 3 years ago, man, has been super consistent and been overly fair and genuinely wanted what's best for you. And I feel the same way in which you've treated me. So you go,
It's like man, it's hard to explain, man. I've been on my own path trying to figure out my own thing for a while, man. And it's like once I left the comfortability of home, I've just always kind of been like a roamer, you know what I'm saying? Trying to just figure shit out. And there's certain friends or certain people that I encounter, and I just watch them, how they are with family and, how they are with like themselves and how they handle themselves. And I really get intrigued by that because I necessarily didn't stay around for a lot of that stuff. So I had a disconnect with my family because I was just really just out trying to get really like involved with the hustle and just trying to figure life out. So it was refreshing to come across, after I've been going through my trials and tribulations, to come across Eugene and then like how, his culture, his family, and how they were oriented. Like it was based off of like a lot of synchrony or whatever, bro. You know what I mean? And I see how him and his brother was, the relationship he had with his dad, and the shit that would be. We out turning up. We trying to figure out life as an entrepreneur, man. Running ideas through each other and just watching his resilience, and when no matter what we doing, he's always coming back on point to try to make sure he could hold down the household. I kind of admired that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of made me want to tighten up a lot of different relationships that I had. So a lot of people I learned things from. You know what I mean? And Eugene definitely was one of those people. And then like just shit, we just be hanging out all day, man. And his dad's talking to me about finances.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just I'm like, damn, this is not what I expected in the day. You know what I'm saying? And just Eugene would have some conversations about character and just trying to put shit together. And another thing, like he does that you do, we used to have this conversation about the people we encounter about you have people that have like emotional what is it called?
IQs.
IQs and
yeah.
EQs,
And he
emotional intelligence.
Yeah, he was the only one that always said that. He was like, yo, some of you, it's your boy, your homeboy, blah, blah, blah. Some people, they like, they might be like real smart, but emotionally, they're not the smartest person. And we talk about that shit, and I'll be like, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but don't know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying?
He says so. I know
I'm seeing, but it's making sense because I'm seeing
So
it.
then tell us what it means now. Do
Yeah.
that.
Man, motherfucker, like you so jaded, man. You so clouded. You so possessed by anger, and getting the last word, or you know what I mean, trying to get your point across that you don't understand the bigger picture, and that comes back down to communication and comprehension. And he is extremely well with communicating and comprehension. And for the person that, what I noticed from him, his dad, even his brother, and a lot of his homeboys and his homegirls, it's like, man, like. If you are somebody that's in your head, you know what I mean, the way they speak and like, how he speaks and how he articulates himself, he's not coming at you. They just very logical about shit that makes sense. So if they're asking you things and you're not used to that, you feel like you're being antagonized and you feel attacked because you're not comfortable in your own skin. You're not used to people.
But it also goes back to literacy as well.
Yeah, literacy, man.
There's a book called Freakonomics, and they're built prisons based off people who cannot comprehend, let alone read, by fourth grade. They're like, oh, we can project this percentage of people going to be in jail.
Yeah.
And so the only thing more expensive than education, Benjamin Franklin had this quote, is ignorance.
Yeah.
So Eugene's telling them, hey, emotional intelligence. The goal is to not be enraged by, every time someone asks you a question.
Yeah.
Because you don't know the answer. The best thing you can do when you come in contact with a guy like Eugene or Jamahl or myself is say, hey, look, man, I don't understand. And mind you, if you get around real wealthy people, they want to help. They're like, oh, well, just do this. You'd be like, oh, that's crazy. That's all you been? But they only think sometimes in high-level terms.
Right.
So I'm glad that he drew perspective, which gets you to today where you have probably more emotional control than you've had over the years.
Yeah, man, because he's been able to set the example. And it's like, even though he's one of them people, like you spoke, you talked to like about Rich and a few homeboys you got, like you don't got to talk to them every day. You know what I'm saying? Like some shit hit your DM or your text message makes sense. It's like shit just kind of rekindle right back over again. You know what I mean? So
They are who they say they are. That's all.
yeah, you know what I mean? So I never really had to think too twice, man. And, most of the times I could think about like if we ever had an issue, it was more so me being in my head and not really understanding.
So Jamal's
Fully
walked me
understand
through being stupid at times.
Yeah.
And I mean, no, and I'm just being
on
frank.
bullshit.
He literally said, like, Eugene has told me at times to be mindful of this and that character, right? And he knew what they was on. Jamahl, compassion, empathy, sympathy. You might give him a little chance, get stabbed somewhere. He's like, I'm bleeding, but I ain't dead, nigga.
No, one thing I always respect about Jamahl though is this guy has the biggest heart.
That's the point. That's the problem.
The biggest heart, yes. Really. And I always tell him, I'm like, man, you got to be careful because some people try to take advantage of that,
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
That they do.
Right? So you
Yeah.
just got to surround yourself with, good people, that share that same energy that you have,
Yeah, you're right, bro.
Yeah, but no, one thing I've always respected about you, man, is, you have a good heart. You're very genuine, down to earth, person, man.
Appreciate
And
it.
and mind you, I completely see that challenges is when you're running a business.
Right, right.
The people who have a good heart, they bleed first.
Yeah.
So in this case,
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
in this case, where somebody like me, I'll kill him.
I'm the same
and
way.
I won't
I
lose
cut
that.
him off real quick.
If my
I don't
nigga
even
call
give him
right now for
opportunity.
prison, he'd be like, Trip, we'll kill a nigga and take a nap.
Yeah.
We're just like, I'm not playing with him.
Right,
Because we
right.
know what type of time he's
Yeah.
on. He's trying to swindle a swindler. I was raised with crooks.
Yeah.
It don't work on me.
Right.
I already was looking for the bullshit anyway. So
Right.
I'm on that type of time. But the challenge with Jamahl is, and many other people we've met is again, these people will misappropriate his kindness and utilize it to their advantage. Fuck him over in the end. He'll take the punch on the chin, but it's like, my man, you can't, we can't keep doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for one,
it take a lot to get me at that point, man. But that's a
but
point. Though.
You've already
Sometimes
taken
it's
a
too
beating,
late.
though, right?
You're taking a hell of a
you
beating.
constantly taking the beat. It'd be different. You like, it take a lot, but it's like after you told me the stuff he been through.
Yeah.
He told me to the dog. So I was like, a lot. And nigga had one more time, nigga, and really not that. Once I'm like, oh, I'm showing up at this nigga's house.
Oh my god,
it's a wrap. But he keeps giving them chance and chance because he has a lot of patience.
Yes.
So how do
Yes.
so,
Facts. No, you do. I was talking to Aaron about it. Aaron was like, man, he's like, I've never seen Maul angry ever, bro.
Oh my god,
He always keeps his cool. And I was like, yes, that's
The
very
patience
yes.
is OD.
I try, man.
It is.
Something I learned from.
Yes.
It's something I learned
Jamal
from.
is very patient.
And it's
Like,
not a
if you ever
bad
see this
thing.
man angry or upset, then this
You really pushed his limits.
Yes, you had to.
Hey, I'll tell you a story. So it's the same thing with Leo Moreno. He called me and put Jamarcus out of his gym.
Oh.
True story. He said, yo, Trev dog, my wife was like, oh, Trev's gonna be mad. He's like, no, he ain't. I seen him put an 8-year-old out. He was like, yo, Trev, he's not picking up after his son, boom, boom, boom. Leo never charged me to work in his gym when we was back home in Kansas City. He said, yo, Jamarcus isn't clean up straight and boom, boom, boom. I said, well, put him out. He said, I knew he was gonna say that. And he goes, I said, bro, it's your gym. You allowed me to never have to pay rent, and I took care of it. I made sure it was clean and straight. Long story short, it's time for a nigga to go. Make him go.
Yeah.
I ain't holding on. It's just business.
Right.
And mind you, Jamarcus still came and lived with me, and I had to threaten him when he got down here.
Yeah.
But
No, facts.
But because
It's a
he
growth
was
process, man.
inconsiderate, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
you
what
got
it was.
90 days to be considerate, or I'm gonna put your head through this counter on this cabinet and everything. I gave him 90 days though. I didn't react. I got patience. More patience than I had he been the 21-year-old over out there, beat this nigga to death.
Yeah.
But point is Jamal has a strong jaw. I'm telling you that. He's like, damn boy, you got hit once, huh?
Yeah.
Nigga hit him again. He's like, he's still taking. He's like, bro, you gotta let that go, nigga. You need me to say something, I'm happy to do so. I love that type of confidence. And not violence. I do mean putting someone on the path they need to be on because we gotta do good business.
Right.
And getting fucked over. That's not a part of the business, man. Hey, you're gonna take some losses. I'm okay losing, but I'm not gonna get fucked over because you didn't have a sense of business. So what's the hardest part, both of you, about being an entrepreneur? Outside of not knowing when the next check's coming in.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
exactly
that's
what it
really
is.
it,
You know what I mean? It's like you have, let's say you got some good strides, you got a good couple months, you got a good year or two. As things get better, man, you know what I mean? Like your taste for things, your venture, you know, what you want to indulge in, all of that increases as well. What you want to invest in. And then, you know, sometimes it's like a roller coaster. It goes up and down, you know what I mean? So not being really locked in with your mental and your thought process, that's what throws a lot of people out the game. You know what I mean? So as far as being an entrepreneur, and I know a lot of different generations look at the verbiage of entrepreneurship differently. Like back in the day, they put more emphasis on what you had to do to be qualified as an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, if you're making a way and it's not traditional, and you're making a way and you're figuring out, you know, how to up your income, you know what I mean, diversify your portfolio, that's what it's about. So it's a roller coaster ride, man. So it's just trying to make sure that no matter what's going on, you kind of like steadfast in that journey. You know what I mean? You're not too overly emotional, not, you know, too in your head. But as far as your strategy and how you trying to place yourself throughout the whole situation, you're balancing that because that's going to always keep you in a position where you can make the right decisions. I feel like for the most part.
What about you, Eugene? What's the hardest part about being an entrepreneur?
It's a lot of, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. There's a lot of times where my back was against the wall. You know, I was real scared of, you know, failing. But I realized as an entrepreneur, you can't be scared to fail. You got to look at it as like kind of like a learning lesson, you know? So with that mentality moving forward, you know, I was telling Jamahl when I was hopped on this trucks, you know, a couple years ago, you know, I was learning the ins and outs of the industry. And, you know, I at one point, you know, there were several times where I was like, man, I don't even know if I'm in the right industry, you know?
Yeah.
I wanted to quit. I was like, none of this makes sense, you know? And the economy was really bad, you know, especially right now with the recession and stuff like that. I was like, man, like, you know, but I just kept praying, you know, remain steadfast and just stay focused and started looking at it and like as an opportunity. So every time I failed, I was like, okay, you know what? Don't look at it as failure. Look at it as, hey, you learned something. Now you can transition and move forward. Transition and move forward. Don't make the same mistakes. And so now, like, moving forward with it, it's just every opportunity that's given to me. Even if I fail again, it doesn't press me anymore. It doesn't stress me out anymore.
Well, it's only failure if you give up, man.
Yes,
and
exactly.
keep in mind, even the CEOs of major corporations will tell you they have to go out. One of the companies I work for, he went to 6 countries in 6 days, and that was all while losing $1 million a month overseas, internationally. So you go, and he comes back. There's a 40-year-old complaining about being at his desk, and there this guy is buying hospitals for $9 and $10 million, if not more, in certain countries to ensure that they have a job. So you're as good, for one, as your last at bat, but even more importantly, as the work that you're doing. Right. So even if you have a job, I heard a guy tell someone this once who was like, I could never be an entrepreneur. He said, listen, ain't nothing guaranteed. Even us getting paid every 2 weeks ain't guaranteed. If this whole place fucking folds, we got to go figure something out. Be it unemployment, whatever the case may be. So you're as good as your will to do the work. But even more importantly, I repeat, figure it out. That's my thing. It's like, yo, can you figure it out? Figure out how to make a way. So I definitely understand your plight. But it's, like you said, it's never failure, man. You learn and you live and then you find ways to move forward.
Right.
Move forward. So what do you think makes a good friend? Because I've asked people this. I'm not a good friend. But I'm curious at times, what makes a good friend, man?
I'd say, just like I mentioned earlier, man, someone that's just, I think with a lot of people nowadays, and it's sad, but I see it, especially, growing up, I transitioned from a small little town to a big city, and I see a lot of people in this big city, they kind of like looking at it as like, how can I benefit from this relationship or something? But what makes a good friend is somebody that's selfless, somebody that's willing to go over and beyond to help you out, even if they don't get something out of it. Because they want to see you win, they want to see you do better in life. That's what I see as a good friend. But it's unfortunate nowadays because you don't really get that type of bond or relationship with these, with people nowadays. People are just very one-sided on how they think. They're just like, what can I get out of it? Or, how am I going to benefit from this? So the ones that are really, sacrifice their time and their energy to, see you, do well, I think that's what you call a good friend.
And what about yourself, man?
I mean, kind of the same thing, man. Somebody's gonna, you don't. I feel like a lot of people try to base friends on who are just like them. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like hanging around with a lot of people that's exactly like you. You know what I mean? For a certain degree, could kind of push you. You want to have diversity, just like you want to diversify whatever it is you're trying to grow in. People that could push you, challenge you, you know what I mean, even when you're uncomfortable. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself because you guys are like all learning from each other.
So if you could, and I'll lead so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. But a lot of times when we think of, use the word diversify, which I think is important. But even when you say, hey, I need friends that are semi-different. Mm-hmm. So here's one of the things that's different about me. Back in the day, if someone texts me in the same house, it would give me anxiety because my grandmother used to stress me out with that shit. So you get a text from grandma, she's like, oh, fuck, this motherfucker wants something. And, or she's fussing about something. Then fast forward, I've been on my own for such a long time, I'm not used to people checking on me. Yeah. Or being like, yo, what's up? What you doing? What you want? You go, what? Yeah. I'm gone. That's all that matters. I'm gone, bro. What are you talking to me for? But fast forward, you got guys like Jamarcus and even Mom text me today. Y'all at the gym or what's going on? Y'all, I'm about to pull up. Such and such. Definitely not you. Even my homeboy Rich. He was the first breath of fresh air. So we say diversify. There's character that I lack when it comes to care because my mama don't check on me. And that's been, again, so long that when someone actually would just say does care, it makes me really uncomfortable. That's the truth. So when you get a guy like Maul who's got a good heart, good intent, no ill intent, and he genuinely, you think about it, I looked at the dynamic, you say, okay, he's got a son he's got to worry about. So he's always going to check on his son. That gives him a whole different perspective on friendships even. So he ain't heard you from me for a while. He's like, yo, you good? That'll throw me off because you're like, bro, I've got to be good because I got nowhere else to go. So if every friend I had was cold-hearted like me, I probably wouldn't grow. That's the truth. We'd probably all be in jail. That's the other truth, because we be on the same type of time. And even, when you think about Kanye West, and they said, why didn't you go with Dame when Jay-Z and so split up? He said, because we too much alike. He said, Jay-Z know how to move in a room full of vultures. Dame be standing on the table fighting niggas. We be the same nigga.
Right.
I need to learn that skill, because being who I've been ain't gonna get me nowhere. Now he's reverted back to his old ways, but still.
Yeah.
So when I look at how I need to grow character-wise, I say, okay, Maul's got a heart. I'm probably never gonna be there, but I'm gonna learn to be more open-minded.
See, that's a start, though.
That's the point.
It'll take time. I wouldn't say I won't be there. It just
No, I won't be there. I know that for a fact. I'm never. But mind you, when Maul brings, or Jamarcus, or even yourself brings people to me, I'll be more nice, because if someone brings, my first objective is to terrorize them. And I'm like way more nice than I normally am. Like even with Farhan, when he brought them, I'm like, oh.
But you also know we ain't just gonna bring nobody around. I mean, if we bring someone around, like we've already taken them through that process,
vetted
like
them.
to kind of vetted them. Like we don't just bring anybody out. Like but you
especially
get brought around,
Yeah, especially
just
the last
know.
couple years, as I've been like Eugene's been to like 2 of my last places.
Yeah.
I ain't have a lot of people there besides like people that I really been dealing with.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what anybody thinking or what they think they know. It's like shit, I'm good where I'm at. You know what I'm saying?
And mind you, I've seen the same thing. It's been the same 4 or 5 folks over here for the past 4 months I've been here. it ain't a conglomerate. It was a big party for Micah. Past that, the same 4 or 5 folks.
This is a lot for Jamahl though.
That's
This is way more than there's been at the last crib.
and
By
mind
a
you,
long shot.
but here's the other part. As his life continues to level up too, this is another step in one being proud of your accomplishments. So you said, hey, look, you can pull up to the crib. And people see, they go, oh, wow. Man, you're doing it. I'm figuring it out.
I'm just figuring it out.
That's it. I'm figuring it out, my friend.
That part.
Well, see, this was this was coming from whenever I saw you sleeping off of an air mattress.
He know. He knows, bro. He knows.
And then you remember your side mirror on your car, it was
Yeah.
messed up.
Hey,
and I was
man,
like,
look,
Jamahl,
hey,
is
look.
it safe to drive your car?
Hey, look. Shout out to Chandre, man, for giving me that Nissan, dog. I mean, was able to travel from Arlington all the way to Richardson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we can get work done.
And mind you, this is a beautiful thing too, because Jamahl wasn't here when Eugene got here, and he was like, yo, he texted me, he's like, can you let Eugene in? And you had your brother with you, right?
Yeah.
So when he comes in, he's like looking like, oh, wow. Man, Jamahl lives here?
He was shocked. He was like, am I in the right place?
I make sure I was in the right place. I thought I was in the wrong house here for a minute. See the high ceilings and everything.
I'm like, yo.
He was confused too. You can see it on his face. He was
And that
confused.
was big on first impression. So my grandma said, watch that first look. So I'm watching his face. They didn't walk to the back door. They stepping outside. They like, yo, this is crazy. Jamahl lives here? I said, yeah, man, it's his place. I just live upstairs in one room, bro. Like, this is nuts.
He's
But
like,
I saw a sincere, like, damn, Martin came, man. I remember when he didn't have nothing. Yeah. And to be here, that's a beautiful.
I know. I was so happy, man.
Yeah.
When I walked in
That's
the
what's up.
house, I was like, man, gotta get Jamahl.
Yeah. And for me, again, I never seen. I mean, Jamahl told me a little bit about him, but my job is from a host standpoint. So I'm gonna stay down here until Maul comes. I don't even know. I said Jamahl. When people ask me to do something, I'm gonna stay down here and talk to the guys. When Maul comes, and I come back upstairs. But they don't know that I'm big in hospitality, and even more importantly, being just considered of the people that I consider. So all these little things, you don't know me from Adam.
See,
I'm going through my.
he's talking about cold-hearted, man. He's not cold-hearted.
I like good service.
So if you were here on the other episode, one
He's a
thing I
You'll
said
see
even the
that,
other day.
you know what I
Even the
mean?
other day, I told him.
You'll see that part
Here's
of
the
him.
thing. As I told him, I was like, yo, if someone ever asked me, hey, how would you ever describe Trev? I'm like, yo, he is the most evilest person you'll ever meet with the kindest heart.
Yeah, so
That is
he's like-
crazy. That's the biggest oxymoron
And
you'll
mind you,
ever
I say, yo, you need anything?
experience.
He's like, yo, I'll take some water. Okay, let me get this man some water. Boom, put some ice in the cup. Point is I want to make sure that his experience in his friend's house, which this is Jamahl and Kat's home, to be clear, is good. I've always lived on the other side where I've been mistreated, even in my own home. So I'm like, I don't ever want somebody to be in someone else's home and feel like they're not welcome.
Right.
That's a sickening feeling for those that don't know what that feels like. It's a very, very, and you got to live with that. I can remember every place I've been with my own family where I was not included. And it ain't a good feeling. So if like somebody walked through the door and it's me representing Mars, how I look at it, or Cat for that matter, believe it or not, I'll probably make him some food if need be. And fast forward, I've done that. Just to make sure this like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. Feels like a home, to say the least. So for one, Eugene, I definitely appreciate you sitting down and having a conversation with us about what you guys are doing. What are some of your goals as you guys move forward and build this iteration of your business out with Jamahl?
Man, we got some big projects coming up, right? Yeah, and Cat too. So I know this is the first time that they got introduced into the logistics side of industry. Right? I know you guys always knew of people, with in the trucks and stuff and whatnot. So, it's really, it's a blessing and a great opportunity to have you guys as part of the team, and we can kind of work together to kind of build this empire up, from the ground up. So, just some goals of mine is, eventually I want to just, take it as far as we can go. The sky's the limit at this point, right?
Yep.
I want to have a whole fleet of trucks if we could get that, going. Yeah.
I like what you said though, because some people would think that buying a truck solves a problem. It sounds like logistics are the actual opportunity.
Right.
If you can solve for the numbers, where it's going, weight, freight, all the stuff. Freight.com, for instance. I got a buddy who worked there, and mind you, I happen, like Jamahl, I be in weird rooms at the wrong time and people just start telling me stuff. And I have a good memory, so I remember these things. You go, that's interesting. Now fast forward, dude's breaking down all this stuff. I'm like, oh, whatever. But now that you guys are doing it, some people look at the trucking part of the business and say, man, that's a bit, we need 100 trucks. When realistically, operation, we need to solve for all the logistical issues that come with managing 5 trucks.
Right. Yeah.
So can we manage 5 trucks effectively, right?
Yes, that's key. Yeah.
And can we scale 5 trucks as far as they can go? And then let's take a look at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Slowly transition. Yeah.
So what I love even about good entrepreneurs, which it definitely sounds like you are, is I heard the term logistic, I heard the term truck. Logistics stuck out to me because that's business. You're looking at the numbers.
Yeah.
the logical side of how we make money and scale.
Right.
Jamahl, what would you say one of your goals is? Because you got your hands in quite a few
Yeah,
things.
he's in a lot of
And
things.
it's so much so you think he would Edward Scissorhands and Goro from Mortal Kombat with 4 hands. He said, boy, you in that motherfucker, boy.
Bro, I'm trying to make it work, bro. Man, but nah, man. I feel like everybody has their own I don't think everyone has their own version of what entrepreneurship is, and people tell you to focus on one thing, man. But then it's like when you sit down and read these articles or read these books, read some of these dope podcasts. It's like dudes just making really educated, they're making real good decisions on what they're investing and what they're investing in on systems. So anything that Eugene bring to me, I know it's gonna make sense because he analyzes everything. You know what I'm saying? That's how his dad is. That's how Aaron is. You know what I mean? Niggas just don't jump in anything. So
Try to make sense.
It makes sense to it alleviates a lot of stress from a certain aspect because everyone has. So this is the one thing I hate about when you're growing and you're in the growing stages and you shedding skin from you going.
You got reptiles too, so I can see it.
Transition into a motherfucking butterfly, bro. You go through a lot of different phases, like DMX said. So it's some of them bitches might be just pure, unadulterated, make no sense, only make sense to you. You know what I mean? Only you can see the end result in that, and you just trying to do what you do. You hustling. You caught up in the hustle. You know what I mean? The stigmatism behind that, but then it's the actual strategy and the actual work to invest in the right resources to make everything automatic. Different people do different things, and you won't get exposed to that if you're only in one sector or section of your life. So with Eugene, I noticed that real quick. Everything what he does is very calculated. And it's you could lose on making calculated decisions, but you got to really respect the person that takes that time to do the due diligence to make sure this play got to make sense. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen him and we've had our stories and we have our interactions on, his journey and our journey. But as far as anything he's doing with the trucking or anything he brings to me, I already know he done locked in, he done played around, he done dibble dabbled about in it a little bit. He has his versions, I have my versions. we kind of, we come, cross each other's paths and try to figure out how it's going to work. So it's just one of them situations, man. It's trial and error, but you want to be surrounded with people that are doers. You know what I'm saying? And because you can't do anything with someone that has never done it before or
unwilling to try, people.
unwilling to try, man.
I mean, as I said, I bought this stuff here just because I'm like, yo, let's see what happens when we get to 100 episodes. I don't know what's going to happen, but I have a good idea. If it's one more way for us to distribute information based on our value and things we're interested in, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
And I'm very good with words. So we'll be fine long term. And then you meet guys like Eugene and I think many others that we'll be able to sit down and, challenge and even communicate with and tell stories. First 20 episodes are for people to find their voice. After that, you say, guys, let's be honest. Those are your Joe Rogans, your Grant Cardones, and so many others who just get up there and tell the fucking truth. Because when you get to, we'll use Gary Vee, for instance. Man's worth $160 million. As he said, I don't give a shit if my kid's cussing. I don't give a that fucking shit doesn't make or break him. Teachers told me not to use vulgarity, and look at where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, you didn't want me to
Facts.
be me. I'm more confident and comfortable, living this way. And my child expressing himself whatever way they see fit than me telling them how to be, because it didn't work for me. And it never worked for me neither. Like somebody said, you should do this. Yeah, I just walk off. I'm not even arguing with nobody. I'm gone, bro. I've got no itch. I'll disappear like a motherfucker. Well, at anywho, Eugene, last question is a question we've got to ask. You hear this question regularly over the next, what's this, episode 4?
Yes.
So starting now, somebody's got to ask it. It don't have to be me always. What keeps you motivated, man? Because this is an unmotivated podcast. I'm super unmotivated, believe it or not, bro. I fucking hate doing everything. But I don't have nothing else to do.
Right. No, that's a great question. It really is. The way I see it is every day that God gives me a chance to wake up in the morning and breathe new air and, experience a new day, that's motivation as itself to just keep moving forward, So just, you have another opportunity to go about life. That's I think so many people take that for granted.
Yeah.
They really do.
Now, so I'm just, you're going to be on here a few more times. So I would tell you, tee them up.
Mm-hmm.
So when you tee them up, one of the things I do really well is storytell, right? How we get people engaged and involved.
Right.
So in your case, it's not that the time you've been given is limited. It's the fact that in real time, you outlived your mother.
Right.
And in that statement you're making about, hey, every day's not promised.
It isn't.
Today's a gift. I've got to do the best I can.
You have to.
Because as a kid, I'm not friends with my mom or dad, but you still don't want to outlive them, right?
Right.
And if you do, it's a good thing, but not at this age. You get to your 50s or 60s and they're 70 and 80, you go,
Well, I mean, we're
sense.
supposed to outlive our parents.
Yeah,
though,
but you know what I mean? Like,
do.
not in the age we're in right now.
Yes, right.
I lost a kid, one of the kids on my phone, for instance, he had a stroke on the football field at 17.
Oh, yeah.
Best kid, one of the best kids I ever worked with in my life, and I tell you right now, that fucked me up, bro. Yeah. It fucked me up. I had no will to keep doing the T50. Who works this hard for a kid that good from to have a stroke and die the next? I mean, in 24 hours, he was gone.
Yeah.
That fucks with you. So when I say I don't have, like, I said, we got the stuff last night, I don't believe in wasting no time.
Right.
I don't believe that I have time. I believe I'm on borrowed time even sometimes.
Absolutely.
So if
Absolutely.
we're borrowing time, which is the enemy of my enemy, it's his friend and my friend too, then I have to utilize it. Because as you've learned, and definitely I've learned from all the losses, man, I ain't got nothing else to lose, but I ain't going to lose because I chose to do less.
Right.
I ain't going to be less than.
Yeah.
I'm going to utilize even when I'm chilling. Like, we did everything we supposed to do today.
Right.
And they'll know that. I don't ever get up like, I got to wait for them. Like, bro, we got to go here, and there. We got to take care of these dogs and keep building this thing. There's numbers we have to hit, the goals that I set, we have to execute. So even with Jamahl saying, hey, yo, Eugene about to pull up, I'm like, bet I'm going to get some food, come back. Well, this is a 4th podcast in less than 24 hours.
Shoot, we might be on number 5.
I know he just
So
he just said,
that tree just pulled up.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
go,
damn,
oh,
okay,
shit.
He got an interesting
You
story
here,
too.
so
man.
here we
You
go.
see, so
And he fuck
you
with
just
E.
never end up losing because, and this is how something starts spiraling into something greater than. So I would tell you this. I know you're probably not real big on like doing the social media thing, but this gives you leverage and accessibility to more people who are interested in what you're doing,
Right.
which gives you scale. And that in itself invites us into so many more worlds, man. And the more, we'll just say popular, but not popular we get, the easier it gets to reach other people that want to be in our shoes. And foundation is because this right here is the work, bro. People don't know what it takes. Like had Jamarcus not went through this already, this could have been 5 days of him trying to figure out how to work this thing.
Yeah, because that's what it took originally. Like no cap. He
dropped the stuff
he
off.
literally comes back to my crib and he hands me a box
figure
full
this
of
out.
wires.
And he don't
all
even know what wires go nowhere, bro.
full
It's
of
fucking
literally.
just a box
I mean,
of
I have
shit.
the pictures still. I made sure I took pictures. I was like, you know what, this is gonna be worth something one day. He comes home. He's like, hey, here's a box of wires. It's supposed to be a podcast. Figure it out. And I'm like, what? And it's a box. And just imagine getting a box of wires all mixed up. And so I took it
And
through a
the dude
process.
who gave it to
I
me,
separated
he
everything.
didn't know where they came from. He's like, I don't even know what this stuff is.
Yeah, I had no
It
idea.
didn't come like how these came.
No.
Oh God, no.
No, imagine
no,
that box
like, we
right
got a
there.
tub downstairs.
No.
With like 18 cords.
Just
and
imagine
some
getting a
mics, nigga.
box
It don't look
mixed
nothing-
full
it don't
of
have no
wires.
road on it,
You have
nigga.
no idea. So I literally took every single piece of thing, like every wire out of there. I looked it up online to see what it was, and I'm like, okay, what am I missing to make this actually a podcast? And I had to work backwards. Like, bro, it's a whole process. He comes back one night, and I have everything laid out on the couch, just
Yeah, he
like
does.
this.
This is true. I
Like
saw
wire,
him all the
wire,
time.
wire, everything else. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
the untangling, bro. It was a shit show.
unorganized, bro. It's like, so that's where that's where this started. To be
Yeah.
clear, just so
Yeah.
y'all know, it started with a box of wires, and now here we are on the version 2 of the Rodecaster Pro, and I'm still figuring this out.
And part of that investment is because I believe in Jamahl and you know Jamarcus, and you know I've heard it for some time. Hey Trev, you need to do a podcast. I don't want to fucking talk to you people, but the truth is it's an opportunity for scale and reach more markets, and people are listening to the podcast, and they already listen to what I say. So, anywho, people, listen. Eugene, do you want any final words, my friend?
You got like 30. You got like 20 minutes before Tree pull up.
I didn't know Rush, man. I mean,
What's
look,
Tree doing?
this is
He pulling up.
Man,
need
we
to
got
get him on a
something
podcast.
called
That'd
we
be
got something
really
called
interesting.
intermissions, my guy. Intermissions, all right.
Hey
no,
man,
we-
he trusts me. He
hey,
wanna,
bro, you
he
on
wanna
number what,
invest,
2 today?
man.
You about to get 3 podcasts in one day,
He
let
wanna-
alone
he
4
wanna
in
invest,
24
man.
hours, bro.
This might have been the best shit that ever happened, man.
Maul,
Yeah,
Maul went from doing no
Look,
podcast
and-
people
and you know-
to 4 in less than 24 hours. No cap.
Here's the thing. I stand with Eugene when all I've wanted, including Jamarcus, is them to be better men.
Yeah.
You know, my kids will tell you, all I wanted was them ever to be better men. I don't need much. I never will need much. I'm a pauper. I've said that on the episodes. I have no interest in wealth and fame. It's a necessary evil for me to scale, making sure these people are worth a damn in life. And mind you, they're already worth a damn. He's a father, a good father.
All I need is one mic.
And so he gonna always be straight. But when you start talking about the things that fall in his lap, you know, we got to really leverage these things, man, because unfortunately, in the black community, there's not a lot of real solid success.
Yeah.
And definitely not success where it's not
Sure.
fucking people over.
Yeah.
And Jamahl don't have a fuck you over bone, and I don't either. I'm gonna fuck you over. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna stab you in the
I'm
throat.
not
We're
gonna
done with
lie
this,
to
okay?
you. I definitely do. I definitely do. I did. But yeah, I'm not on that, man.
We all do. It just takes
about
that one
growth.
thing
Yeah,
just to
it's
pull it
about
out.
growth.
I want you to know I'm gonna cut your throat though. I'm like,
Trev's like the one who's like, I'm gonna tell you head on the yo. You do
This is
this,
gonna be
just know
bad,
I'm gonna
bro.
cut your throat
I
straight
literally
up.
told
So,
Jamarcus, I said, look, don't trust me, because if you fuck up, whatever you think, I said, I'll cut your ass in a heartbeat, bro.
that's facts.
What I do like about
And I've
this,
lived my
though,
life by that.
I haven't
like-
since I've been in Texas, man. Like, and shout out to like every walk of life, different people I've met. You know what I'm saying? But like, I had a real growing up in Queens. I had a group of guys that I grew up. We called ourselves like LBN, laid back niggas. It's
Niggas is shills nils.
It was a bunch. All my dudes are doing well. You know what I'm saying? You know, I lost a lot of contact with a lot of these brothers, man. But like, this is the kind of camaraderie I'm getting with these group of guys. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool to like be in a place where you could just sit back and be like, yo, I don't gotta really think twice about the type of people I'm surrounding myself with. You know what I mean? And
And that
they want
is-
your best interests. So I
And
think
that
that's cool.
right there in itself, even when, you know, Maul leaves, like, yo, you know, you can leave the house and your homie be at the crib with his old lady and not stress.
Yeah.
That in itself, like my brother, I wouldn't leave my brother in here with a girl I was talking to. My blood brother, he's not somebody you could trust. So y'all not really, some of y'all gonna get it, but camaraderie is one of those words I'm super not familiar with. I didn't play a lot of team sports in general, not in later stages, meaning high school.
Yeah.
It's a lot of one-on-one type things where I just had to think about myself.
Practice, nigga?
Yeah, but Maul is one who's really, and my buddy Rich and you know, even Jamarcus, where they're very considerate. Again, I try to be considerate no matter what. Just in general, if you give me real time, of the people that they fuck with. and it's teaching me. Lord have mercy. Even when he said camaraderie, I almost broke me to a sweat because I just don't get why people were friends. You ever want to be disappointed? Trust somebody. You ever want to be disappointed? But even worse, don't communicate with them what you're expecting. So in this case, you can walk them through expectations and have a conversation and learn and grow with them. 9 out of 10 people don't want to grow though either.
Yeah,
That's facts.
So I want to see everybody grow. I can't thank Eugene enough for joining and jumping on. And
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
participating. And mind you guys, this is one of a few. Jamahl and Eugene have got into the trucking space. I don't know if I shouldn't say. Eugene has passed him a truck with trucking logistical information. So it wasn't, hey, good luck, take this truck. It's like, yo, look at what we're doing. If you guys want in, here's an opportunity for you to do one more thing that scales your life, which means they got to do less work and build more value so they can have more time, in this case, potentially with his son, with his old lady, traveling with his friends, doing things, even like investing in other things. So now you got more money to say, if I come and say, and we already talked about this. Say, I'm going to build a second business. When the time comes, I'll tell you, hey, put up $3K. Again, I'll do the rest of the work. And all that covers literally a supplement. It ain't for me. It's like it'll build an iteration of a supplement. I'll go do the rest of the work. And then every time, we'll keep scaling up as I invite more people into the pet space. Yep. So what I love about not knowing Eugene from Adam, but even how Maul made it make sense, the guy was, here's the logistics, here's a business, here's what we can do, here's a chance. And I don't even think he had to tell Maul, don't fuck it up. I had to tell him. But and not because I knew, but I just knew he's talking about it right. I wouldn't do that, buddy. I wouldn't do that, buddy. But mind you, Eugene came over to make sure he don't fuck it up. So it wasn't me. It was Eugene showing up saying, hey, no, don't listen to that bullshit. This is what you need to do, and here's the facts.
Right.
And then the other person could produce the facts.
yeah.
And when there's no facts and he got the facts, you go, well, let me go with the facts because at least I know where we can start. And he already has a working system. So anything you want to drop, leave him with, because again, guys, this is one of probably 5 to at least 10 conversations we'll have with Eugene. We're going to get to 100 episodes. I like the energy so far. I'm grateful because here it is, 10:05, and this is a good episode to start with. And or just to kind of keep the ball rolling per se. And there might be another one.
Another one.
Come on.
Anything you want to leave him with, man?
Man, hold on, check this out. Look what Nova's at right now. Pause for a cause.
Yeah, see, that's probably enough. Look, well, we're going to come back. Look, what am I looking at in a second?
But as far as what I don't know, man. Take care of your dogs, people. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Take care of your people, man.
That's a good one.
You just never know what opportunities are like just out there lurking, and you just never know. Sometimes when you turn down the ego and get a little bit more grounded, you know what I mean, and not be scared to communicate. Always be hungry, as far as trying to connect with the people that you feel you can connect with, and you just never know what opportunities could be like, kind of just be thrown at you. So I would just say, man, no matter, everyone's trying to grow, everyone's trying to get to a certain.
I don't presume everyone, not everyone.
Well, for the most part,
the people around here are trying to grow.
I'm gonna give people the.
Here we go.
I don't want to say it.
No, but see, here's the thing. I've learned very quickly, especially being around
him.
him.
I think it would make sense that people want to grow.
You start to genuinely wish that you think that everyone wants to be better, but they don't.
It sounds common.
Trust me,
though,
man.
You
really want it to happen, but it just doesn't happen unless they genuinely want to change themselves. So if you really want what's better for you, if you genuinely want to change for yourself, you're the only one that's gonna make that happen. Nobody else can do that for you.
And Marl already said that.
That's for a damn sure.
Absolutely.
Because Trev taught me how to categorize.
Yeah.
I learned that very quickly when I was trying to learn how to manage my energy.
Yeah.
Because you try to expend your energy in so many different places. Like, I don't have energy to give to this stupidity over here. So then you learn how to, if you know a stupidity is gonna come over here, no need to feed it. You just like, I know this person's gonna say something stupid, so I'm just gonna let them say what they gotta say, and I'm gonna keep it moving.
Hey man,
and I'm only gonna give my energy where I know it's gonna benefit me in a positive way.
You're right.
That's the one thing I definitely have learned through this process.
Shout out to the KKK, man.
Shout out to the KKK, and remember, as always, just do your best.
But no, for real, no, we're not shouting them out. But
nah,
the dude that was charged up earlier on another
charged
episode, you
up.
get to see. he was
IG Live.
You ain't got no guns, fuck you niggas. You go, wow.
Go check it out.
And
Fit
I'm-
Bully
and I'm
Kennels
smiling
on
all the time.
Instagram, people.
All this good energy. That's what you got to say.
And that he was motivated, but I love them people that are motivated because
By hate.
As
it
we're
means- it means he
unmotivated.
might bring 100,000 more people on that'd be like, oh, I hate this nigga, but you're watching, and that pays the bills.
Pays the bills.
Watch hours, they do matter.
Yeah, I do, man.
Yeah.
But nah, like on the cool, man. Like, look, you're gonna see a lot of people on here. You're gonna see, especially me, getting out of my cocoon, and being able to articulate myself a little bit
Absolutely.
better.
Hey,
and
man.
I
get
feel like in
comfortable.
the movie you say, "Caca, caca." What's that? I'm a fucking peacock. What's that?
But
The
one-
other guys.
The other guys, bro.
A fucking
Oh, my
peacock. I
God.
gotta fly. I gotta spread my wings.
but what I am gonna
Will
do.
Ferrell and freaking
Mark Wahlberg.
I'm gonna
Wahlberg,
make
bro.
sure. I'm gonna make sure I bring some people, man, that got some substance to them, man. And
Yeah.
you going, you know, from the outside looking in, you're not gonna know what's going on until you hear these people's story. And a lot of these people play a major part in like my thought process when I'm downstairs and just
Bro, here's
thinking
the,
about what I'm coming across on. So shout out to you, Eugene. Appreciate you.
no,
Appreciate
man.
you guys having
Everything
me.
you got
I agree,
going
bro.
on.
Hey, man, I got to see this thing, you know, as far as from a podcast standpoint, bro, where we were before when we first did the podcast thing, bro,
Yeah.
and to see it where it's going now, like, when I say, like, it's about to get very interesting, we're only what, episode 4 already?
Yeah.
And it's already getting very interesting.
About to be 5 in like another 30 minutes.
And then 30, in the next 30 minutes, in less than 24 hours, 5 episodes, and it's already getting very interesting.
And keep but let's recap what the purpose of this was. Eugene's a guy who connected with Jamahl. He invited Jamahl into a space. Let's just call it a painful space. I know, and I'm not saying I know, but I've lost enough to no longer feel pain, and that's not a good thing. And in a very vivid moment, if you have a mother and you love your mother to death, my mom's crying on my shoulder. I'm looking at my grandfather, who I cared a lot about, and my mom's crying, and I feel nothing. Because I start losing at such a young age, I stop feeling the emotion of pain and missing. So I made sure I gave them everything I had. So when we're recapping this particular situation, you're meeting Eugene, you say, okay, Eugene's a guy who was given character at a very young age. He's sustained that character through probably good and bad times. That character connected with Jamahl. Jamahl and him are now continuing to grow. You see that? You see that lip past Elizabeth?
That
Remember?
motherfucker down.
Hey, it was different, boy. Their character has now continued to grow, and even more importantly, they're doing business together, which is probably going to go crazy. On top of it, foundation, they both care about people, and I think in the daytime, it's hard to do, man.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to do when people are so used to being fucked over. And I'll be honest with you, outside of Eugene, bro, I haven't heard a lot of good stories come out of Jamal's mouth.
Facts.
Not when it comes to business, at least. I've heard him
Facts.
give people literally chance after chance after chance, and that doesn't mean things haven't worked for him. Mind you, there's been a lot of good opportunity here, and he's succeeded because of the things that did work.
Yeah.
But when he starts describing some of the people he's met, I go,
I mean, you can see the genuine frustration in his face because he wants to do right. That's
He
the thing.
wants
He
it to work,
wants to do right.
yeah. So
And motherfuckers are just trying to take advantage, which is the unfortunate thing
they
about
gonna
this
do
all this
whatever
stuff.
you let them do. But they look. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's some people who would rather talk to him than me because I'm not playing with nobody. I ain't playing with my mama, but at any people, I appreciate Eugene. Shout out to Jamarcus, definitely Jamahl for jumping on here. You'll see the energy pick up. You'll see everybody get a little bit more. You know, I'll call it chaotic, but the chaos is just in them being comfortable and confident and telling the truth. I have nothing to hide. All of their friends, definitely ones that I met from Jamahl, they're like-minded, so they're pretty open-minded, and they don't have anything to lose either. You know, it's all about winning now.
Right.
But outside of that, people, look, thank you for watching. Hopefully you listen and learn something, most importantly about yourself. As always, you're looking for credit solutions, reach out to Offer Credit. What is you guys'
Business.
business name? Tell them a little bit about your business. real
Oh,
quick.
it's Trucker Bros Corporation.
Trucker Bros.
Okay.
Corporation,
Trucker
yes.
Bros. Remember Bang Bros? Trucker Bros.
Bang, bro.
Trucker Bros.
Crazy.
not that, bro.
Trucker Bros. Trucking. Oh shit! And
Bang, bro.
you know, it just that's the first thought that came to mind.
Hey, man, it rings. It rings.
And if you have questions about moving something from Z to B, I ain't talking about moving your damn house, but real life products and things, and anything can help you with, even if it's pure education. Reach out, learn something, and then mind you, again, everybody needs better credit. I don't know nobody who can't use some credit, information, education touch base with these people. They know what they're doing. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure to download this episode, like, comment, share. You want to know more, listen to more. It's things you think we miss, comment. I don't know how it works. I got to be honest with you. And as always, keep killing the people.